Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, back at it again with a book review for another GYG book, or Give Yourself Goosebumps book, for those who don't know. The Twisted Tale of Tiki Island, one of the most unpopular Goosebumps books of all time, and under-recognized, I will say. And, might I also add, this has, hands down, my absolute, I'm gonna say this now, favorite cover art in the entirety of Goosebumps. Surprisingly, it's not done by Tim Jacobus. It's actually done by Mark Nagata, and he did a fantastic job. It absolutely captured what the Goosebumps cover arts that Tim Jacobus did, also phenomenal, are trying to be, and it just does it in such an awesome style. And it just looks fantastic. I absolutely love it. Hands down my favorite out of all of them. And I did make a video saying Graveyard Ghouls was the best, but of course, best and favorite are two different things in my opinion, so yeah, let's get to the review. And now for the blurb. It's no fantasy island. You and your cousin Gina are vacationing on Tiki Island. It's so beautiful, you don't even care when you hear a rumor that people have been mysteriously disappearing from the island. While you're snorkeling, Gina finds an undersea cave. Should you follow her in, or go after that gleaming object on the ocean floor? Quick, make up your mind. A shark is zooming straight for you. If you choose to dive for the object, you'll find a Tiki Eye. It has the power to erupt the volcano, and summon Tiki warriors from the dead. If you explore the underwater cave, you'll find a sunken ship full of the treasure, and some very active skeletons. Blah 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 blah. 20 super spooky endings, Goosebumps adventure. Next Goosebumps book, Return to the Carnival of Poop. Anyways, this book isn't my favorite GYG book, but it is in the top 3 as of now. I've only read a good 8 or 10 fully through. And yeah, out of the ones I've read, this one is easily one of the funnest ones. And this might even be a top 2. I'm not quite sure. It's in the same tier as Carnival of Horrors. Without further ado now, moving on to spoilers, let's get to the upsides. Easily the best path in this book is the Crystal Cave path, or the Undersea Cave, involving pirates and some sort of bandits, I think. Yeah, that is hands down the funnest GYG storyline I have ever read. I am serious right now. Thus far, at least, of course. I haven't read every GYG book. I actually just got a new one today, Lone Stake by Canyon. Yeah. This is easily the funnest one out of any GYG storyline I have ever read. There's so many scary, gruesome deaths that you can get, lots of spooky moments involving the actual pirates. There's also some really interesting endings, and a great, good ending where you can actually save Tiki Island and defeat the pirates, so it's pretty awesome. And yeah, that storyline is just the funnest, easiest one to read. Overall, though, that part was fantastic. The other parts in this book weren't as good in my opinion, but they were still pretty good. I think it's just one other main storyline, which is where you decide to go for the Tiki Eye, I think. And that is interesting. Very, very interesting. I didn't like it at first, but as the story went on, I actually really liked it. And I think the Tiki Eye itself is an upside. I think it's interesting to have another cursed object. We get that sometimes in Goosebumps, you know, it's a stereotype trope. Not in a bad way, though. It's not extremely overused, thank the Lord. You know, stuff like the haunted mask, literally, it's haunted, cursed, you know. Or the gruel from It Came From Beneath the Sink. Or, I don't know, the Diary of a Mad Mummy, I heard, has some sort of cursed object in it. Just some really awesome stuff that you can get from those, and this is no exception. There's also some great endings in that path as well, but there are also some bad ones, which we will talk about now. Yeah, there's some bad endings, of course. There are a few rough ones, and this one is definitely the roughest I'm about to mention. I don't really want to go into detail if the others are just involving money. And I think I'm Evil Scientist, which wasn't terrible, just like... Anyways... There's an ending in here where you watch a documentary for like so damn long. It's so boring and dumb. It's not even funny. And this might be a shocker, but this is a more serious book. It kind of takes away from the book because the book is very high stakes. As weird as it might be, I know. It is quite a serious story. But yeah, I just didn't like some of those endings thrown in there, as always. And of course, the story isn't extremely grand, so... It's not going to get a 9 out of 10, but it's not going to get actually an 8.5 or higher, I'll just say that. I do believe this story is very grand, but it's not grand enough to give it an 8.5. So, noticing, of course, the endings downside we have in basically every GYG ever. I'm gonna give this book an 8 out of 10. I think this is easily the funnest GYG I've read, and I really recommend it, surprisingly. And I'm not just sucking up, I swear to God, to the cover, because I've already made this clear. I absolutely love this cover. It is so good. But yeah, really reading through it, it is definitely more fun. It's got some stuff I liked from another GYG book, sort of in vein of this one, involving a jungle. I won't go any further on that. Yeah, those two books feel very similar, and I think they both got a very similar rating. I think they both got roughly an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, this is no different, but it's like slightly better, is what I'm gonna say. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed this one. I think this one was very well written. Shout out to the ghostwriters. Had some of the best endings, scariest moments, and okay, come on, the Crystal Cave part. Beautiful. Anyways, and that is going to conclude this book review. 8 out of 10. I think it's very well deserved. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've read this book before. I presume you have, and what you think of it below in the comments. So, yeah. And without further ado, I'm gonna end the video now.